Hi, I'm Kirk Evans, president of U.S. LawShield. We're here today to talk about a recent decision out of Missouri declaring that their Second Amendment sanctuary law was unconstitutional. We're going to do that in three parts. The first part is we're going to talk about what are Second Amendment sanctuary laws. The second part, we're going to talk about what the decision said in Missouri. And then the third part is implications for gun owners. So, what is a Second Amendment sanctuary law? So back, say, 2 or 3 years ago, this momentum began to grow where states, municipalities, cities, counties began passing these laws called Second Amendment sanctuary laws. And it kind of came to a head in 2021. Frankly, that's the year where most of these laws were passed. So these laws range in variety from things as simple as just passing a law or an ordinance that says, we support the Second Amendment and we're going to do everything in our power to support it, period. All the way to other laws that got much more intense, where they said our municipality or our state will not spend any money to help enforce any law that we believe to be unconstitutional. Or alternatively, some of the laws mention specific items such as magazine capacity, weapons deemed to be assault rifles, taxes, registries, things like that. Some places took it even further, which is what Missouri did. And Missouri's law even has a $50,000 penalty if a law enforcement agency or other state agency does certain things to what they say is to violate the Second Amendment rights of folks in Missouri. So, what did the court say? The court, the Western District of Missouri, Federal District Court, said this law is unconstitutional. They based this decision in large part on what's called the Supremacy Clause. And the Supremacy Clause says that if Congress is entitled to pass laws in a certain area, meaning it's within their purview, and if those laws are constitutional, then a state cannot pass a law that either supersedes or interferes with the ability to enforce those federal laws. So the court there said, no, this particular Second Amendment sanctuary does that. It interferes with the ability of Congress to regulate the area of guns, FFLs, selling of weapons, prohibited persons, things like that. The state law interferes with that and therefore is unconstitutional. So what does that mean for gun owners? In Missouri, frankly, not that much. In Missouri, even with the Second Amendment sanctuary law, if you were to violate federal law, nothing in their Second Amendment sanctuary law prohibited a federal agent or a federal court from bringing federal charges against you for violating that law. Now, after this ruling, those federal agents or federal prosecutors might be able to get more assistance from state officials and things like that after this law was declared unconstitutional. But as far as your gun laws and gun rights, probably haven't changed that much. So what does this mean for all of the other states and municipalities who have passed these Second Amendment sanctuary laws? Right now, we don't know. This case has no precedence over any other municipality, state, locality, city, county outside of Missouri. It does not apply to any other state or municipality that may have a Second Amendment sanctuary law. Now, the courts in those jurisdictions, if they are challenged, could read this decision and go, I like that argument, I'm going to follow it, but it is not what we call binding precedent over that area. In addition, this matter is certainly going to be appealed to the federal appellate courts. The state of Missouri has already promised to do that. In addition, there are other pending cases in Missouri that may go in front of different courts and may see different rulings. We may have competing decisions that all work their way up through the appellate courts and maybe even the U.S. Supreme Court before we have a final answer. Now, some good news for U.S. LawShield members. A part of your membership is that you can call at no additional charge, call U.S. LawShield and ask to speak to your independent program attorney, and they can answer any questions you might have about Missouri law, this decision, or the sanctuary laws in any other state or area that you might be at, and you can ask them about specific weapons, items, magazines, things like that you have, and they can help work you through that situation at no additional charge to you. If you'd like more information, please go to uslawshield.com. Thank you.